Hi, my name's Sarah, I'm Leah's mum, and this is my video book review on a book called Geek Girl by Holly Smale. Okay, so this book is the first of a series of books about a schoolgirl called Harriet, and the fact that she is always picked on at school by a specific girl, Alexa, for being a geek. And she gets noticed at a fashion event that she didn't really want to go to by a model scout, and ends up being flown out to Moscow, and ends up lying to her friends and enemies and stepmom about what she's doing and where she's going, and everything that sort of follows the story of that. And this is the first book in the series. I did enjoy reading this book, which I was quite surprised about actually, because when I was Leah's age, I was reading lots of different books, from anything horror and scary things to books about animals, but nothing sort of like this. And it was quite refreshing to read a book that focused on the problems that young girls have in school, and the bullying and the emotions, and how Harriet gets through it. And I also liked the way that the author pulled on her personal experiences of being a teen model. I managed to get that into the book as well. So yeah, I really enjoyed it. The main character in these books is Harriet, but it also tells you about her dad, who's quite funny, her stepmom Annabelle, Nat, who's her best friend and always has been her best friend, Weird Toby, who's also a bit of a geek, but Harriet refers to him as her stalker, and also Alexa is featured quite a lot in the book, who is your typical school bully, really, and kind of picks on Harriet all the time. But I do think Harriet is my favourite character. She's so down to earth, she's very relatable, and she does kind of remind me of me and my friends when we were at school, when we were younger. So yeah, she's definitely my favourite. I think the main strength of this book is how many real life issues are identified, such as things like the bullying and the emotions that everyone goes through in sort of secondary school, the school hierarchy, how everyone deals with it on a day-to-day basis. And I also think one of the strengths is how the book is written from Harriet's perspective, but doesn't read as like a diary. I really like that too. What I liked about the author's writing style, I've touched on before. I like the perspective it's written from, that it's written as though it's a character from the book, and isn't written as like a diary entry, and which sometimes I do struggle with. And I also like that the author has drawn on her own personal experiences of being a teen model, and gives you a bit of an insight into the world of modelling and fashion, which you otherwise wouldn't really get. So, yeah, that's what I quite like about her writing style, as well as it being fun and easy to read, and really quite captivating. So I didn't really want to put the book down once I started reading it. I haven't read any other books by this author. I hadn't really heard of her until Leah asked for this series of books. But now, having read this first one of the series, I think that I think that I'll read the rest of the series, and probably talk to Leah about it. So yeah. I absolutely would recommend this book, not only to parents for their sort of early teenaged daughters, but also to parents who are struggling to find common ground with their daughters, or struggling to relate to them or remember what it was like when they were at school and everything they were trying to deal with, and how things as adults to us seem really trivial, but really when you are that age, things just seem life altering and life changing and life ending almost sometimes. So yeah, I would recommend this book, and I hope that other people will enjoy it as much as we did.